What's the funniest way you've been forgotten? I always knew I wasn't the favorite child. Not because my parents were mean, not because they treated me differently, but because they had a long and impressive history of accidentally forgetting I existed. The first warning sign happened when I was 11. My family decided to take a road trip to visit relatives 3 states away. The drive was supposed to take 6 hours. It took 9, mostly because my parents couldn't keep track of anything. 30 minutes after leaving the house, my dad suddenly slapped the steering wheel. "We forgot the camera!" My mom gasped, the car filled with panic. You would have thought we'd left a baby on the roof. We turned around and drove all the way home. The camera was sitting on the kitchen counter exactly where my dad left it. Crisis solved. Or so we thought. 2 hours later, we stopped at a diner for lunch. Everyone ordered food. My dad got a burger. My brother got chicken strips. My mom got a salad. 20 minutes passed before the waitress walked over and looked confused. "Who ordered the grilled cheese?" Everyone stared at her, then stared at each other, then slowly turned toward me. I was sitting there with an empty plate. My family had completely forgotten to order food for me. The waitress looked horrified. My parents looked embarrassed. My brother laughed so hard soda came out of his nose. I thought that would be the funniest thing that happened on the trip. I was very wrong. A few hours later, we stopped at a giant roadside gift shop. My parents told us to stay close. Classic parent instructions. We wandered around looking at souvenirs. I spent 15 minutes deciding whether I wanted a keychain. When I finally made my decision, I turned around. My family was gone. Not nearby. Not in another aisle. Gone. Completely gone. I searched the entire store. Nothing. I finally walked to the front entrance. And there, through the glass doors, I watched our family van pull out of the parking lot. Without me, they left. They actually left. I stood there in complete disbelief. The cashier noticed my expression. "Everything okay?" My family just drove away. The cashier looked outside. They do seem pretty committed. I ended up sitting by the register for almost 30 minutes. The employees gave me free candy. One guy offered me a job. Meanwhile, my family was halfway down the highway. Apparently, nobody noticed I was missing because everyone assumed I was sitting somewhere else in the van. My brother thought I was in the back row. My mom thought I was sleeping. My dad thought my mom knew where I was. A flawless system. Eventually, my sister looked around and asked the question that saved my life. "Wait, where's Emma?" According to my parents, the silence that followed was terrifying. My dad nearly drove into a ditch. My mom started crying. My brother thought they were joking. They rushed back and found me, sitting inside the gift shop, eating free candy and considering my future employment opportunities. The reunion was dramatic. Lots of apologies, lots of hugs, promises that it would never happen again. And honestly, for a while it didn't, until Christmas. That's when my grandmother accidentally delivered the greatest punchline of all time. Our entire family gathered at her house. The living room was packed, presents everywhere, everyone opening gifts. My grandma started handing out personalized Christmas stockings she'd made herself. One for my dad, one for my mom, one for my brother, one for my sister. Then she stopped. She looked around, counted heads, looked confused. Then she asked, "Who am I missing?" The room went silent. My brother immediately pointed at me. Grandma squinted, then smiled. "Oh, right." She disappeared into another room. A few minutes later, she returned carrying a stocking. Everyone laughed. I laughed too, until I looked at it. Instead of my name, the stocking had 3 words stitched across the front. "Other grandchild." The entire room exploded. People were crying, laughing. Even Grandma couldn't stop laughing. And the worst part? A few months later, I visited her again. The stocking was still hanging above the fireplace. Not only had she forgotten my name, she'd apparently decided that was my official title.